the hell is a Maalu pan?
Welcome to Feast with Pete, and today we are making Maalu pan, also known as fish buns or fish bread. And let's get into this video. So first thing you need is you're gonna need some milk. You're gonna need about 241 grams or 240 grams of milk. If you have one of those little weighing things, you can get it at Target. Get one for 20 bucks, man. It's worth it. And then you're gonna warm that milk up. You're gonna put some sugar, and you're gonna warm it up for like 110 degrees within that. Then you're gonna add some Active Dry Yeast. You're gonna let it do its thing for 10-15 minutes. Get some butter, about 26 grams of it. And then I'm gonna use bread flour for this, 450 grams. So you can use all-purpose flour if you want, but I like bread flour because I don't have actual dough hook and a KitchenAid mixer, so I'm just gonna use bread flour for more gluten. And once that mix is done, throw that yeast mix in with 1 egg and beat that. And this time it should be kind of warm, so if you have butter that's kind of melted, you can add it. I didn't have melted butter. My butter was kind of soft, so you can just kind of mix it around, and then you'll get a feel for it. And that's how it looks. And butter's all mixed up, and then you're gonna put all the bread flour, okay? And if you have a dough hook attachment, now I also added a little bit of salt. If you had a dough hook attachment with a KitchenAid mixer or a different type of mixer, that you can just knead this for like 10 minutes on this. Because I don't have that and I had to do it by hand the way we actually do it in Sri Lanka, right? Like at least back in the day. I don't know about now. Back in the day they used to do this by hand. So what I do is I knead this for a good 10 minutes and let it rise. So when you first kneading it, it's gonna be so sticky. So the dough is gonna be kind of sticky, but keep kneading it. Once you keep kneading it, it'll get hydrated, and it'll become manageable. So if you have a dough hook attachment, it's a lot easier. If not, you just gotta knead it by hand, like the way I'm doing, for like 10 minutes. Of course, this is sped up in time-lapse mode, but yeah, that's like a straight 10 minutes of kneading. And once you keep kneading it, it'll get softer and softer and softer. And because we're doing this by hand, we have to do this process a couple of times. You're gonna put some oil, you're gonna cover it and let it rise for an hour. After it rises, it looks like that. And then you gotta punch it down and then knead it for another 10 more minutes. And see, now I got the slow motion action going for y'all, because I'm kneading this thing for another 10 more minutes, so it's gonna be nice and soft when you bite into it. You don't want a hard Maalu pan. You don't want a hard bread, because you're putting yeast, you're putting all this work in. You gotta give your hands a little workout, because you are gonna eat all these calories. So make that work. Let it be worth it, man. Put some more oil, cover it up for another hour. So if you live in a cold place, what you want to do is you want to set your oven to 200 degrees for like 5 minutes. Turn that oven off, and it'll get warm, and then put the bowl in there. If you live in a warm tropical spot, you can just put it outside. Just make sure there's no bugs get to it. But that's basically what you got to do. So the dough rises, it's got yeast in it, it's going to work its magic, and it's going to do its thing. So the next thing you want to do, that's oil from the sardine can, right? And some of y'all might not like that, but if you don't like that, that's fine. But that's good olive oil, and it's organic sardines, so I just use that. Put some coconut oil in there. It might look like it's a lot of oil, but we're gonna put potatoes and fish in here. It's gonna soak up all that oil. Now I added some Serranos. I only added one because I got some tenderonis in the house. I can't put more than that. Now if y'all like it spicy, put 3 or 4 in there. And there's a little half an onion in there. If you like more onion, put more onion. I added some turmeric, because you need that turmeric yellow color. And then added some cumin. This is a spice my girlfriend hates, but she loves to eat it. She hates the smell, she loves to eat it. That's some paprika right there going in, right? I'm gonna put 2 kinds of paprika, some regular paprika, and I'm gonna put some smoked paprika coming up right now. So smoked paprika has that smokiness. With the fish and the potatoes, it works really well. Now if you don't have this, you can add a little bit of chili powder. I added some coriander powder that I had. you know. Definitely looked like a curry mix right now. It was smelling really good, even though the cumin, you know, it doesn't smell as great when it comes when you just smell it. But then, you know, when you put it and cook it with oil, it smells great. You want to add some salt, you know, add some black pepper. You know, you always got to add black pepper with other different peppers like cayenne pepper, because black pepper has a different depth of flavor that goes in your mixtures and curries and everything else. So now you could add curry leaves. I did not have curry leaves on this one. You know, the last batch I did have curry leaves. So if you don't have curry leaves, that's fine. Don't add it. Add some garlic. You could add cilantro if you want here, if you like, you know, if you're a cilantro fan, or parsley in the end. But if you don't like that, you can just keep it simple like this, man. And then add 3 cans of sardines. Now I got these sardines from Costco. I'll put exactly how much the measurement in the description, but I added 3 cans of this, and then basically, you know, cook the sardines. And then I found out, man, I don't have any potatoes, so I had to stop. I had to, like, you know, stop this and go to the store, get me some potatoes, and I had to boil some potatoes. So if you have potatoes, make sure you have some potatoes. I did put some peas in here. I boiled some potatoes, mashed them up, so I can mix it with this mixture, because, you know, you do need potatoes and fish. Like, that is what they do back home. Sometimes it's more fish than potatoes. Sometimes it's more potatoes than fish. So this one, you know, I just put some potatoes because, you know, it's how Maalu pan is normally made. There is potato, there's some peas, you know. It kind of looks like a samosa mix right now, but, you know, Maalu pan mix is pretty similar to that, you know. So now that's the dough that's being rested for a whole hour. Now, because we've been doing this by hand, you know, it took us 2 hours to get to this point. Normally will only take 1 hour, because, you know, if you have a dough hook, you know, it's a 10-minute knead on a dough hook, and then boom, you know, another hour later, you're doing this. You're cutting this into 12 pieces. But because we didn't have that, we were doing everything by hand, it took us a little longer. So now you want to cut it into 4s and cut the 4s into 3s. So you get 12 pieces exactly, or kind of rough. You know, in my case, it was kind of roughly, because some of them were bigger, some of them were smaller, and that's fine, man. You know, if you're OCD and if you want to get everything at the same size, you know, you can definitely weigh it and do that. But, you know, I care about the taste more than how it exactly looks like, because, you know, this is for the home cooks out there who want to make this. So this is not a whole professional type of thing. So this is more for the home cooks out there who want to do this. So when you cut it, it's gonna be really soft. So now that I'm cutting it into, you know, now it's almost done. But yeah, man, like you can pretty much put any type of filling you want. You don't have to go, if you don't like fish, you don't have to put fish. You can put like hot dogs in there. You can put like, you know, spiced sausages in there. You can put a meat and potato mixture in there. You know, if you just want to go vegan, you can put potatoes and peas and carrots and all of that in there, and it'll still be, it won't be a Maalu pan, but it'll still be like a curry pan, right? Or curry bunnies. You know what I mean? We call buns bunnies in Sri Lanka. Don't ask me why, that's just how we call it. But then after you do that, you want to roll them up, and then you want to cover them for like another 15 to 20 minutes, and then he will rise again. So after it rises for 15 minutes, what you want to do is you want to roll it into a circle. And, you know, if it's not a perfect circle, don't worry about it. You know, it's still gonna come out good. You can roll into a square like what I'm doing right there. It's not a full circle, it's not a perfect circle, but, you know, it doesn't matter. It's gonna still taste good. And just keep rolling it. You know, if you're particular about that, you know, of course you can roll it into a perfect circle, but this right here, you don't have to worry about that. So once you roll it to a circle, then you're gonna put your curry mix in the middle. Right now, if it's a sausage mix, you know, a meat mix, or a vegetarian vegan mix, whatever you have, put that in the middle. Now, if you like to add a boiled egg to this, you can always do that, which I decided to. I boiled some eggs, so I put an egg in the middle. Sometimes they do serve it like this in Sri Lanka, you know, during breakfast time, because Maalu pan is basically a breakfast item. You know, if you go to like a pastry shop, they'll normally have this. The way we have croissants and everything else here in the States, they have Maalu pan over there, you know. So, you know, this is kind of a breakfast staple. People just buy this, and, you know, it's kind of something they eat on the way to work type of thing, you know. And then you want to fold it like that and put some water so, you know, it doesn't come off. And then, you know, seal it nicely like that. And then that's how it looks, kind of a triangle shape. You know, it doesn't have to look perfect. As long as it's all closed, it's gonna be fine. Now that I'm doing another one right here, you know, same deal. As long as it's closed, you know, make sure you put water to seal it up, and then it's good. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna let this rest for another 30 to 45 minutes. So while it rests for 30 to 45 minutes, you want to put your oven at 425 degrees and get it nice and preheated and ready, because you know, you don't want to rest it for more than that, because, you know, then the buns could break. So basically I just cover it up with like a tea towel and then let it rest. You know, there's a silicone mask down there, so you don't have to worry about greasing the pan or anything like that. If you don't, you know, make sure you put some oil down there so the Maalu pan doesn't stick. But just basically I'm just making sure, you know, they're all good, sealed up and ready to go. And then I made my other batch. So this batch normally makes like 12. So basically now what you want to do is you want to do an egg wash, some milk and egg yolk if you like it thick. If you don't like it as thick, just one egg and a little bit of milk would do. And then basically, you know, brush them down so it gets the nice Maalu pan glossy look. You know, kind of looks like that croissant when it comes out of that oven, you know, that glossy nice look. Now if you like to put salt on top, you can always do that, or some type of, you know, crushed peppers or whatever. Go ahead and knock yourself out. If you want to put sugar, do that too. So what I did was I added a little bit of kosher salt, and it's, you know, it's gonna have a nice look to it when it bakes in the oven. So after I did that, my oven was already heated up to 425. I had to put this at 425 for like 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, I have a weak oven, so if you have a strong oven, it'll take 12 to 15 minutes. It will be ready. But I don't have a strong oven. I have a weak oven, so I have to kind of play around with it. You know, you might need to increase the temperature to 450 for like the remaining 5 minutes. And when it's done, it looks like that, man. Look at how beautiful it looks. It looks like how I remember it when I was a kid, when I used to go to those pastry shops in Sri Lanka. Now, this is a batch that I did a couple of weeks before for my Instagram. And then look at how it breaks. Look at how soft it breaks. That's how it's supposed to look like. So if it looked like that for you, man, then you know you did a good job. And let's see what my girlfriend thinks about this. My girlfriend already started eating this. And don't be doing no Oscar Hollywood acting over here. Tell me the truth.
It's good, babe.
What does it taste like?
Fish and potatoes.
There's eggs in there. Let me see.
Eggs.
Look at that. Look at that close action.
Can I have some Sprite?
Yeah, let me go get you some.
I hope y'all like that video. Click subscribe and don't forget to feast with peace.